I've made plenty of videos showing my setup, but I never showed riding it. Never showed what it was like to ride on an actual Zwift ride. So tonight, as awkward as this is going to be, a lot of people got a lot of questions, and I want to use like the last 15 minutes of this group ride for our club to kind of take a peek and see if I can answer some of those. So I'm at home, sitting in my basement, on my bike, on my trainer. We'll get to it in a second. We got group rides every day, morning, evening, all kinds of good stuff. You're looking to get fit, you're looking to hang out, this is where you want to be, especially with the less outside season being extended. I'm in here with several other people, so we'll get to it. What's up, Will? So we'll swing around, see if I can show you my screen. So that's what I'm looking at. We got Chuck, Terry, Jeff Archer, John, OG, me, Ed Dixon, and Irvin. It's 8 of us. May stopped in for a bit and hung out with us. Anastasia came through and rode with us for a few. So at one point we had 10 riders just kind of hanging out. One of the questions I get is quite simply how does this whole keeping together thing work? Well, it's a little hard to explain, I suppose. If you can see in the upper left-hand corner, up there, it says 161 watts. And you can see I'm second from the bottom in our group. Now, I'm not that in shape, but if I hammer down a little bit and pick up those watts, you'll see me move up the group, but you're not going to see me come off the front. I'm putting forth a pretty good effort, and I'm not shooting off the front. It keeps you together. I'm still in the middle of the group. Now if I slow down, slow it way down. All the way. I'm falling to the back, but I'm not off the back. I'm right here. He hangs in. That's it. Whether you're doing 70 watts or 60 watts or 500, you stay in the group. I know that seemed excessive to prove a point, but the point is that if you're a brand new rider, you just got a trainer, you're new to this whole thing, as long as you keep the pedals moving, as long as you have a little bit of power, a little bit of cadence applied, you're going to stay right in the pack with the rest of us. Whew. And if you want to do sprints, you want to do intervals, you can go as hard as you want. You won't pop off the front. Again, we stay together. It's a nice little feature they added sometime last year. All right. I got 12 minutes left to this ride. So I'll show you a little bit more of my little bit of setup here. We got the stuff here. There we go. So, normally I'm watching Netflix, YouTube, or something. Over here, I'm taking a look at all the messages that are coming through. Some of these are for our group. To May, Anastasia, those were individual messages. I can sit here and look and go through all the different messages on my little phone here. You switch it over to the map and get likes or thumbs up, right-ons to other people. I just have this stuck here on my little desk. What else? Honestly, that's about it. There's not a whole lot here. You got this little nightstand thing over here with a bunch of crap on it. My nose seems to run a lot when I ride. I got my beverage, which is just carbonated water. Some other dumb stuff. Remote for the fan. It's important. Honestly, that's it. That's really all I wanted to show. Just kind of just hanging in a group, having a little bit of fun, talking a little trash in chat. That's it. So I'll turn it back on the screen for a few more minutes and we'll wrap this thing up. If you got any questions, I guess type it in the chat and I'll try to see if I can answer while I'm live streaming. That's it. That's the gist of it. Again, you see all the people on the right. In the green is our group. We're climbing up a 4% upgrade, top right hand corner. On the left, top left corner, watts, heart rate, cadence. So I can pull up next to somebody. So real quick, using the app, I can change the view. I can pull up next to somebody. This is Jeff. I can snap a photo. There's Terry. And we take all these different angles. Mountains and lava in the background. Chuck, Terry, Jeff, me. Here we are. Ed, Herb, John, and OG. And there's OG. So the people at the top of the list on the right necessarily aren't going the fastest. They're not necessarily going faster than the people at the bottom of the list. Switching gears. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Your bike is a controller. Top middle miles per hour, miles, feet, time. This is a 1-hour ride tonight. I lead rides on Monday, Tuesdays and Thursdays, evenings. Irvin is Wednesday nights. Glenn's Thursday mornings. Crystal is Tuesday and Friday mornings. 2May is Wednesday mornings. Barb Lawler is Saturday and Sunday mornings. I really hope you guys can't hear me breathing that hard. Now it's been this long. Might as well finish off the ride and show you how I finish it up. So Jackie, personally, I have a Wahoo kicker, smart trainer. I had the first version of it, liked it so much that I went ahead and got this one. It's relatively quiet. In fact, if my wife is upstairs sleeping and the door is shut, she cannot hear it while she's upstairs sleeping. So the Wahoo Kicker is connected to an Apple TV. Apple TV is connected to my TV. Some of the confusing parts about Zwift is that there's a bunch of ways you can set it up. You can run Zwift on Apple TV. You can run it on a PC, a Mac, a tablet, a phone. A lot of good options. Each one sort of has its pros and cons. The Apple TV is okay. The biggest con for me is the stupid remote you gotta navigate with. That's it. We're at 15.7 miles. Every even mile, every whole mile, you get points. Those points help you level up. So what I'm gonna do is I'll end my ride at 16 miles, since I'm almost there. It's the same thing when you end the ride, you're in the parking lot, and you got like 19.9 miles. You ride around that parking lot until it says 20. Some people do. Sean knows what I'm talking about. So, another point two. And that's it. So the group's been disbanded because the hour's up. Some of them, some are still riding, like Irv, like Chuck, Irv, Terry, John, shit, everybody's still riding. Trying to get the miles in, I guess. As soon as it turns 16, you'll see 30 points pop up on the right hand side, and I can stop. There it is. So, I'm going to go ahead and close it down. So I use this goofy remote to end the ride. I took some photos, some snapshots, so I can actually go through and pick which ones I want to show up on Strava, Garmin Connect, and Zwift. So that last photo I took with the time on it, I really want to make sure I get that one. That one's back. Should be back here somewhere. See, this remote is goofy. It's hard to use. That's a lot of photos. There it is. This is the main photo, so I'll double tap. Put a yellow star on it. That'll be the main photo. We'll get rid of that one. We don't need that one. That's a good picture. We'll keep that. Don't want that one. We'll do a lava picture. Oh, lava picture. We swipe up, we can take off the stats, so it's just us in the picture. So I got two more I can upload. Let's do this one. Oop. Not that one. Do this one. See, that's why this remote sucks. We'll take off the stuff. Let's find another one, one last one. Good side profile shot, maybe. We'll do this one right here. And we'll do the same thing. Take off that. Alright, that's it. When you save it, it uploads it. And that's it. So that's it for this part. Alright, onto the bike. Somebody wanted to see the setup. So, I've made other videos about this. Let's see if I can get this in here. I have a Wahoo Kicker trainer. Someone else asked prices. The Wahoo Kicker I think is about $1,000 for this particular one. You can use trainers all the way from Aldi has one for like 28 bucks to a Ceres Fluid, which is like made by Ceres. It's called the Fluid Trainer. I've had that one before. That one's like 250 bucks. You can get a Wahoo Snap, which is a smart trainer, but you leave the wheel on. That one's like 500 bucks. Then there's a bit of a jump between that wheel on and the wheel off. I don't need a wheel for this one. It's a direct drive. This one's like $1,000, maybe $1,100. This is the newest version of it. You can get refurbished and used ones for just a few $100 too, the previous generations. An older bike that I had, on the front wheel I have a Climb, which is probably one of the major pieces that I probably should have never gotten. What it does is it will raise and lower the front of the bike in Zwift based on the terrain. So if you're going downhill, it'll lower it. If you're going uphill, it'll raise it up. This comes out as a bit of a remote control. You can put it. What else about the setup? That's pretty much it. There's a cadence sensor on the inside of the crank arm down here. Cadence sensor down at the bottom. What else? And like I said, the rest of the stuff is completely optional. Any kind of extra phones, attachments, PCs. The fan is not optional. Got the fan from, it's a Stanley fan. It's a remote. It's from Amazon. It might have been $30. But I got the wireless remote because when I start pedaling, when I start working out, I'm not hot. And then I start to warm up and I want to turn it on, but first world problems, I can't reach it. That little nightstand over there just has goofy stuff on it. Tissue, my drink. I never drink enough. I never use bottles and put them in the holders, in the bottle cages. I don't know why, I just don't. When I ride outside, I do. I don't otherwise. And then the kicker, the Climb actually pairs to the kicker. The kicker and the cadence sensor will pair to here. It will actually pair to the Apple TV. And I just realized that because I have this reversed, everything's backwards. One of these days I'll have to learn how to do this right. So you got two options. If you have a smart trainer, let's go back up here. Normally you'll be greeted with this screen. See, it's backwards. I apologize. I'll do this right one of these days. But you got power source and speed sensor. If you have power source, that means you probably have a smart trainer or power meter. If you have smart speed sensor, then you have a like a manual trainer, like the Sayers Fluid 2 trainer, and then you have a speed sensor on your bike somewhere. I have the Wahoo Kicker, so it shows up. I'll choose that. I can actually get cadence from my Wahoo Kicker. If you notice, the ID on both of those are the same. And I apologize for the backwards stuff. I'll get this ironed out. My heart rate, I have on a heart rate monitor. It's just a Wahoo one. Actually, it's this one right here. It's just a Wahoo, Bluetooth Wahoo. What's his name? Oh, Bluetooth there. Apple TV is out of Bluetooth connections. Would you like to try to connect through Zwift Companion or your smartphone? Okay. This video is long enough. If you want to know about what this is and how to get past and how to get around it, just message me. Otherwise, that's it. If you got any other questions, hit me up. All right, later, bye.